Hi everybody, how's it going? We are here with a general and timeless reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Okay, I'm looking at the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Four of Wands. This looks like you have a new opportunity that's manifesting, something that's materializing for you. This is something that you would feel emotionally connected with. To have the Queen of Cups here, this would mean also that it's necessary for you to be in a starting place where your heart is open in order for you to connect with this. And this can be something that it's like an opportunity for something to be part of your like routine, or beginning to build the foundation of something. But I'm seeing this as being, to have both the Ace of Pentacles and also the Ace of Wands, it's like something where you get to make the choice of like whether or not you want this thing in your life. It's definitely like a startup sort of energy. So it would be something that you care about, something that could potentially become something regular within your life, and you get to like say whether you want this or not. Whether like this is the type of chapter that you're willing to engage in. And it would be something that you care about as well. Like this would touch your heart in some way. Okay. It looks like you're starting off on a new venture. This means that there's something that looks appealing to you. I see the Page of Wands as something that feels inspiring to you, something that would be like motivating you, something that you feel is connected with your purpose. Like, I want to do that thing, or I want to aspire towards that, or I want to start doing that. So it can be like an activity. It's like a path that opens up for you that you want to walk down. It's something that you feel attracted to, something that feels... it would like light you up. It would bring excitement to you when you think about this. Like there's this desire to get involved in whatever this is. It's something that would call to you right now in the moment. Something that brings like excitement and inspiration into your life. But it may be coming at a time that feels a bit challenging, because I'm also seeing the Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And that can mean that there's some sort of stress associated with you starting this thing. It's something that you definitely want to do, but it may just be at a stressful time where you have a lot going on. You have a lot on your plate right now. You have a lot that you're balancing, or it just feels inconvenient, where you're like, should I really be adding another thing right now? But I'm seeing this thing, it's calling to you. So it's at least making you think about it or consider it. Ooh, High Priestess. And the Three of Pentacles. You may really be relying heavily on your intuition at this point. Like really using that as a compass, as a guide for you currently. There can also be somebody that you're working with too. You can be like working really closely with your guides at this point in time, like really feeling their presence. You could also be working with other people. Definitely feel intuitively guided in this direction. Like you could see this as being part of your future. You could feel like this is something that you're meant to be doing. Also, to have the High Priestess here, there may be people or a person that you're working with that is like sort of under wraps right now, or is like concealed in some way. Also, to have the High Priestess here, this can be something that you're doing that involves anything connected with the High Priestess, so occult, esoteric in nature. This can be something like selective as well that you're doing. You may not be telling like everybody about this. This may be something that is like in some sort of aspect of this seems like private in some way. Like, it may not be something that you want everybody to be included in, or maybe you're just particular about who's getting involved in this. And trusting your intuition to tell you, like, who you want to involve and whatnot. Or who you want to consider energetically. As you're working and figuring out what you're figuring out, I'm seeing you tuned into a very particular channel here, okay? There's information that's going to be coming into you that's connected with a collaboration or you working with another person or other people. It looks to me as well like you may have some like private feelings or private thoughts that you're sort of keeping to yourself right now and maybe waiting to see what's going to happen. Like, you could have things that you're thinking as far as the trajectory or sort of like forming your own opinions, but I'm seeing you may not necessarily be like sharing that with just anybody. Maybe like sort of keeping things to yourself at this point. Maybe until you have a more solid understanding of what, because this feels like you're getting messages that are coming in, but they may not all be coming through in like a linear fashion, and I'm seeing you sort of putting together puzzle pieces here. But it's going to take time. I'm seeing you've got the right channel, you just have to wait for all of the information to come in. You've got the right channel, you're in the right space. Something feels... You have a lot of options, zeroing in on what you want. It seems like we're moving in that direction. I'm seeing you even be able to skip a step here with something that you're doing. But when it comes to calling out or naming something, you still may be figuring this out. Okay, interesting. Hold on. So it looks like there's a bit of a trade in here. I'm seeing both the Ten of Swords and also the Ten of Cups, which means that something may not be in alignment with your pursuit of happiness, and so it needs to come to an end. And so there may be something that you need to give up or cut short. I'm also hearing cut short, meaning maybe end before you had thought previously it was going to end. You could have also been on the borderline here with something that you wanted but needed it to come to an end. It almost feels like a sacrifice of some sort that needed to be made, but I'm seeing you're going to get a better outcome because of this. And you would have just had intuitive feelings about this. So it's like this, right? You may have been working with somebody or considering working with somebody or including somebody in what it was that you were doing, somebody or other people, okay? Because it doesn't just have to be one person. This can be like you going to a particular place or working with particular people. At first, because you were still figuring out like basically the rule book of whatever this thing is that you're starting, you could have been like, I'm still trying to pick up on what my intuition is telling me, and I feel unclear about some things. Because it's sort of like an invisible blueprint, we can say, when it comes to this thing that you have sort of like newly taken under your wing, we can say. but there can be like a lot of options of how this can go and what your intuition is telling you. This can be like, I'm getting a lot of messages and a lot of information coming through, and I'm trying to figure out like what's most in alignment with what I want. And part of you could have thought that there were certain people that were connected with what it was that you were doing. Like you could have been working with certain people and got to the point where you were like, this needs to come to an end. But they could have been people that you were considering working with. But I'm seeing something needed to come to an end, and you would have had a feeling about this. Information would have come in that clarified this for you, like what was in alignment and what wasn't in alignment. But I'm seeing you get information that feels very crisp and clear to you, and you would know this because it rings true to you internally. This would resonate, and that's why you would know it's like the correct line of guidance that you're receiving. Okay, I'm seeing you hard at work here on something. Also, I'm just looking at the moon here in this top spread, and the moon is connected with like your intuitive abilities, your reception, your emotional perception as well. What you're feeling, what you're picking up on, what's making sense internally, not needing to empirically observe things, but to be able to digest them in a way that's like beyond that. On a way that transcends the physical plane. Could be something that you're learning, studying, working on. I'm also seeing the Ace of Swords here too. So this means that like the more work you do, the more clear things become. And this is also you feeling like you're working on the right stuff, like you're in the right space, you're on track right now. And there's a sense of this being like approved or even confirmed for you. It's kind of like whatever wasn't making sense before, or whatever was unclear before, is now clear, is what I'm seeing here. And I'm seeing this also confirms your intuition has been spot on all along. So if you were questioning something or like not understanding it before, it seems it's now been confirmed in like an undeniable way to you. Absolutely is what I'm hearing. Okay, so if you had been working in some sort of dynamic before where there was a lack of reciprocity, it seems like whether or not that was happening, like you could have been in a situation where you were still trying to figure out, is there going to be reciprocity here or not? I'm seeing you found your answer. Which definitely feels like progress at this point. Marked progress that you've made. I'm seeing you get further along with something here. It seems like this is opening up to a new chapter for you. Okay, so this collaboration that you'd been in, or this working with whoever you were potentially working with, I'm seeing there be like a pause or a break. So if there had been like other people that you were collabing with or frequencies that you were connecting with, I'm seeing there be a pause that's associated with something of an ending here. Or a pause before making the decision to end something. So you may have like pulled back or taken a break before you finally decided. I'm seeing this be a multi-layered process. You ending something that needed to come to an end but wasn't necessarily easy was part of a karmic challenge for you, or it is if you haven't done this yet. But I'm seeing you needed to make the decision to really look out for your best interest within this situation. I will say this, it's definitely being confirmed with this reading. If you have no clue what I'm talking about with the reading, this reading is not for you. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, then the reading is for you. I'm seeing this be like very black and white as far as who it's going to resonate with and who it's not going to resonate with, for sure. Because if it's not resonating, this is going to sound very abstract, but for those of you that are connected with this particular reading, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about here. So this move was about creating harmony that makes sense to you and that is also in alignment with like your deeper inner truth. Even if it's like this, in order to get to the Four of Wands, which is harmony, but only harmony that happens after working through and troubleshooting. So it doesn't just mean you get to a harmonious place without having to make some tough decisions on the way. This is like making tough decisions that may feel inconvenient even at the time, and being forced, it feels energetically, to make decisions that need to be made, where you can either back down or you can be like, this is hard, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's what a lot of these challenges have been associated with doing, but it's something where you are kind of creating the recipe to get exactly the outcome that you want at the end. And it's sort of like a harmony that is worth fighting for and that needs your energy and your input and your application and presence through the process of to get to this point where you want to get to. So it's a harmony that can be established through needing to sort of move through this jigsaw puzzle process. I'm seeing really the objective for you be about balance and stability, something that you feel you can count on, and that may be what's like most important for you to build up around you right now and beneath your feet. Okay. We are ending here with a decision that needs to be made about what you are committing to at this point. Because I'm seeing something pop up for you and you need to make the decision as to whether or not this is aligning with your deeper truth. Because there's something here that you can join and connect with if you want to, but you have to make a choice where you are going to have to give some sort of, it seems like, verbal answer, or take action verbally, or decide something in your head about like whether or not it's connected with this deeper sense of truth of yours. Like asking yourself whether or not this aligns with your pursuit of happiness, pursuit of mental and spiritual stability. Like, is this situation reflecting and mirroring what you want as far as what you want to be involved in? You just want to trust your gut with this choice. I will say this too. Sometimes, this is like undeniable, sometimes we get to a point within our process where we can have a tough time making a decision and getting like so worried about it. Two of Swords. We can get so caught up in being like, is this the right answer? Is this the wrong answer? And we get into this place where it's like divisive. There's this sense of polarity with this choice of like, one is black and one is white. Like, one is right, one is wrong. And sometimes we're actually in a position where you just need to make a choice so the rest of the process can continue. And that may be an aspect of what's coming to light here. Now I keep seeing this 3 of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and now it's like actually popped out. This can be about you potentially reconnecting with someone or with a group of people. This can be you, reconnecting socially in some way. To have the Wheel of Fortune here connected with this seems like a somewhat like karmic unfolding, and I'm seeing there's some sort of emotional connection that you would have with this person or with these people. You may also feel like you keep going and you're like waiting to feel that like satisfaction of a conclusion and like edging towards it, but feel like it's not coming yet. That's what I get the sense of. It's like wanting things to maybe be more like neatly tied up, but feeling like you thought the story was going to end or like a chapter was going to end, but it somehow just keeps getting elongated in some way. I'm also hearing something here about finding your people. There's something socially that's happening that's like triggering some sort of response for you, where when you reflect on it, it may bring up some sort of like old wound or something that happened. This is like a light illumination. I'm seeing this be connected with someone or with a group of people, okay? This would be like, I don't know, you would feel some like energetic underplay that's connected with this, okay? This is like a realization, something coming to light. And this can be something that hurt you or some sort of like trauma or wound that's coming up or some sort of pain that's coming up, that this situation is like motivating you. It's like a catalyst for you to reflect on this and why it's coming up, which means that this is also an opportunity for healing as well. I'm seeing this be like a subconscious energy that is coming up that you may not, it's coming up from below the surface, but you may not have known it was there until this like social interaction was triggered, okay? All right, with that being said, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.